It's you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So, we will recap what we learned yesterday, and then we will go to the further classifications of SQL. Yeah. So we know that SQL is just a structured query language, and it will use for accessing the databases, and then it will use for the deletion and fetching and modifying, and then it also can be used for manipulating. And then we understand about relation database. What is relation database? What will be the main things in relative database? What is the purpose of relation database? And what will be the uh, what how the relation database looks like. And then we discussed about three normal forms. First normal form, and then we also understand what is normalization, and then the three normalization forms. First normalization should have the only single value, and it won't have it will have only the unique value, no duplicates will be allowed. And then second normal form will have the first normal form, and then we will have the primary key as well. Again, third normal form will contain second normal form and no transitional dependencies. So that's how we learned yesterday, and then we started SQL classification. So in that we got to know about create, alter, and drop and truncate, which names, the names itself are saying what is exactly to create, to alter, or delete, or to remove the records in a specific database, or to or a table in the SQL, when we are executing the queries, etc. Uh, anyone have any queries so far, or anything anyone want to ask, or anything? Just open for questions for a couple of minutes. Any questions from anyone? Okay, then we will move on. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You,
It's
sir.
simple.
Okay, good. So next is data manipulation. How we will use this data manipulation. Data manipulation is such a thing where it will enable to work us with the data that goes in the database, such as insert, select, update, and delete, which is like the queries which you will write. These are the keywords which will be used in writing the commands, and to use in SQL. So it's like you can see select, which like retrieves data from a table or a database, and then insert, which you can insert the data into table or
Sir,
database.
sorry to
Update, we
disturb.
can.
The screen is not visible. Yes, sir. Now again it is visible.
Okay. So yeah, so select is again I'm just repeating it. Select is like where we will retrieve the data from the table or a database, and then insert is just you are inserting the data which is to retrieve or something. And then update, just to, if you have existing data which we need to update, or update in the existing data in a table or a database. And then delete, you just can delete the records, which is like a data manipulation. It's the even the same classification will says about what exactly data manipulation is. Like you can select, you can insert, you can update, or you can delete. All those are the ones which will be used for this kind of stuff. Okay, and then I will show you some. You can see here some just a small syntax where you can see select, where I will write select column 1 and column 2, or how many ones you want from the table whatever you are trying to extract. So this is how you can write a small select statement, and then uh, that is one. And then you can see the yesterday's one, create, how you want to create a table, which is create, you can give your own table name. You create table, and table name will which will be your uh, your vision. You can write the table name, and then column 1, you, what is the data type. We will go through what are the data types and all those ones. uh, that's how it will be. How many columns you want, you can put column n, and then you can give a primary key, which will be the unique one out of all those columns. So that's how you can select or create, and then we can truncate or alter or insert. You can see, if you are inserting as we written, how many columns we are writing in a table, 2 columns, then you can see insert into your table name, whatever your table name been given, and then all the columns you can mention. If for example, if I give 3 columns, you have to put the 3 values, three table and the column names with what are the values. You have to give the values like that. Okay, so for example, if I have first column as serial number, name, address, then I created that table as people. Now insert into people, saying that serial number, name, and address, values in bracket 1 is the value 1, which is your column as serial number. Column 2 is your name, which is Renu, and then address is London. So that's how you can insert into a table, or all those stuff which you can see. And then update also, it's the same, where update people, set column, set serial number equal to 2, where the, you can, all those updates, all those ones can be done for specific how many ones you want to do. And where condition you can put, saying that okay, where name equal to Renu. So column like that, serial number equal to 2, where condition you can give, and give the uh, semicolon, which will update that table. Okay, and delete, you can give delete from people, where condition equal to where you can give the column name, saying that serial number equal to 1. Simply it will delete all those ones from the table. That's how you can just, these are the simple ones, and when you are using on your own, it will be useful for you to write or execute, and it will be that straightforward ones. Whatever the columns is in your database, it will be useful for that. Okay, that is how you can use for data manipulation in any queries. We will just uh, give a pause for a minute, and we will go for the next one. Is there any queries so far? Any questions?
Sir, screen is not visible, sir.
Sorry.
No, the screen is visible.
No, no, screen is visible.
Sairam. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You can proceed with the next one, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Next is your data control, where it's saying that how you want to manage or how you want to give the permissions in a particular database uh, to execute or to grant or revoke the access for the permissions of a database or a particular table. In this one, grant, it's like allowing users to access privileges to the database or the table, like if you want read only, if you want write, write both. So this is how you can give the access of a grant. And revoke is like, I'm, for example, if I given you a read and I want to change it you to write, or I have given you both read and write, I want to revoke one of them, or I want to revoke whatever the access you had. Those are the withdrawing users access privileges given by the using grant command, which we given via grant, like as I said, grant read, grant write, whatever we given the permissions to you, which can be removed by using revoke. Okay, so that's how you can manage data control stuff. And these are just theoretical ones, where you can understand how what type of commands or what type of stuff we will have in to use SQL and to retrieve the data, all those stuff. There is nothing much on these ones, which are like a general words which you use on a daily basis as well. So that's why we are just a bit moving quickly, but yeah. So that's how we can use data control, which is saying that how you will control the data in a particular database or a table is grant and revoke. Grant is the word itself saying that I'm granting you something, which is like a read grant or read axis or write axis, or both read and write axis, which will come as your read is just select, and then write will be your insert or update, and delete, which will write write your data. So it's about write and delete, where you can write and read axis, which will be grant and which can be also removed. So that is how it is will be used in data control for grant and revoke. Is it still fast? SDP 95, hope you have understand this concept, the two concepts uh, uh, which we gone through. Hope it was not that fast. Serum 95, hope now it is clear, or is it still quick?
Yes, sir.
Hope you understand these ones, right?
Yes, sir. I understand, sir, this one. But previous one, you have went to somewhat little faster, so that I asked you to go slowly.
Yeah, no worries. Hope you have understand the previous one as well. Uh,
Yeah.
how we will use the all the
Sir,
commands
I
which
understand the theoretical concept, sir, but you said that now insert means a table column like that. How to insert the name, location like this. All these things that I haven't. This one, sir. This is the one only I haven't understood. So I asked you.
okay, see, it's just that's what I'm just trying. It's about it's just such a simple one. You can see, as I explained, create table name is people, and then column one I will give as a serial number, which is your data type, which we will go through in the later concepts, which is data type. Serial number, it will be
The
always a
screen
number.
off.
Is it now visible? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so column 1 I will give as serial number, and data type is number, where my serial number will be always a number. And then column 2 will be my name, where data type will be varchar, which we will explain in the later stage. That's why I'm not going through those data types which we will use here. But when we create, or when we second, I will explain those ones. So as we create in the table, it's like that same way we can insert into the table which we given as people. And I will give the columns, the 3 columns which I created is the serial number, name, and address. Values will be serial number. In the same sequence I have to go and update all those ones in the same sequence, which will be inserting those values. Or even same update is the one which column you are updating, what value you are updating. For based on the columns, if you are updating 2 columns, you can give 2. If you want 3, if you want, you can update 3. Like that it will be same thing. And if you want to delete 1 column or 1 condition, it depends on all those ones, which will
Sir,
be. Yeah.
update means we are modifying the data, sir.
Yes, we will modify the same thing. For example, as I said, I inserted a row saying that serial number 1, name Renu and London.
Yes, sir.
I want to change from London to the country as United Kingdom. So what I will do, update table name, which is people. I will write update people, set address equal to London, and then we have to give the condition where we will write where name equal to Renu. So where name equal to Renu, it will update the address as London from the table of people. So you can go in the backwards now, which will explain to update the value. You
Okay, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
So
Insert
that's
means
how
creation, update means modification, delete means deletion of the
Zilis.
data.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir.
And once you delete it, you can't retrieve it again. So that's how it will work in the background. Okay. And same
Sir,
way
what
which
is
we
Okay, sir.
which so
sir,
which it,
what is
so
creating
it's
an index to your table?
sorry.
Creating an index to your table.
Yeah, so we will go through those ones, index all those concept. Okay, so index is like, we will whenever we are creating, we will give that primary key, right? So that will automatically will create. When I have shown you the create table, the primary key which we will giving, that will be the index. And you can see here how to create the index statement. Create what will be the unique. You will write create unique index. What is the index name on table people, the table name which we given as people, and which is the columns, whatever the columns you want to give the as index, that will be, you have to give all these ones, and these will be unique ones. For example, the serial number will be always unique. That's why I will give my primary key as serial number. And if there is any other such columns which you want to make a index, that you can give all those ones, which will be used for retrieving the data quickly. Those ones you can use, where you can use index separately, or you can give the primary key whenever you are creating table. There you can give a primary key which will be act as index directly.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So that's how you have DC, data control language. And then the next one is transactional. So it's saying that transaction is, you daily use this word, transactions which we use from to commit. Let, for example, TCL comments, let's to commit, revoke, in the server or in a database. Also it allows to save points wherever it is appropriate. Like as I say, when you are doing the transaction in a, for example, if you are doing a transaction in a ATM center, so it, you will enter your pin code, you will uh, you will request whatever amount you want, and then you will click the submit button or done button or a tick mark, and then you will take your money from the ATM, which is a one transaction. Either you are retrieving the money or it is declining or whatever, or you are updating. For example, you will change the ATM pins. All these will be gone as a transaction, right? Which means that the activity which you have done, you are committing to that, you are confirming it, saying that yes, the transaction's been done. Okay, so that's where you will come. For example, commit is the stuff like saving all the changes done in the last transaction permanently, whatever you done. Like if I updated, if I deleted, if I inserted, I will use the word commit, saying that yes, I have committed to that one. It's the same thing as I explained in an ATM transaction. When you click the last done button, which means that you are committing to that the transaction, you have agreed to go ahead. Or if you are clicking red button, which means that you are going to decline the transaction, which is I am rollbacking whatever I have done, canceling the all the modifications. Then whatever the amount I entered or whatever I have been trying to do in a ATM center, it's same like the same I'm doing the rollback, which will cancel the modifications done in the last transaction, whatever the ongoing transaction which you did already. And same save points is in the statement, it will give, you will get all the transactions whatever you done. Either it's a decline, either it's you are not decline, you will see whatever the transactions you've been done. And the same thing here, save points, which is we will use very minimal. But yeah, save points is like rollback operation which will be performed in a part of transaction. These commands will be used in a save point by the name of identifier. Yeah, so this is very simple one. Generally you will use commit or rollback whenever you do a update or insert or delete wherever you want to. If you want to roll back, you don't want to do that changes, you don't want to update, you don't want to insert, or you don't want to delete, we will do the rollback. If you want, yes, I am okay with the uh, update or insert or delete, we will do the commit, which is a but which is command which you will use once you executed or once you run a query in a for a particular table or a particular database, um, for a particular database. Is it clear for the transactional control
Yes,
language?
sir, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so before we move to data types, we will just go back for a minute, um, of what we discussed so far in the SQL classifications. We have four types of data classification, which is DDL, data definitions, and then transactional control, how we will control the transactions with whatever we does, and then how we manipulate the data, and then how we will control the data. And then in the definition as we speak, we will use how we will define our data, which will be using commands like how to add or modify or delete. We will use create to create, and then alter to the existing database, or the to drop the which will be deleting the stuff, and truncate, which will be removing. And drop and truncate, it's like deleting, and which means permanent, and which will remove from the table for the memory allocated, which will completely remove the data. And how you will manipulate the data in an SQL using the commands like select, update, and delete, which will is select is to retrieve the data from a table or a database. uh, People who are not speaking can go in a mute, please. Someone is people who are not speaking can go on mute, please.
తీసుకొచ్చు రేపు తీసుకొచ్చు
So we
స్నానం చేసి వెనక్కి రేపు పడుకుంటుంది వెళ్ళాలంటే లేట్ అవుతుంది కదా నాకు నువ్వు తీసుకుని వస్తాను
please, people who are not speaking can go on mute, please. So that's how we can use the select for retrieve the data, and then insert is just to insert the data, and we have gone through the simple one liner of insert and select and update and delete as well, which will update and delete, and then control, you will control the data whatever you've been created in a particular database or a table. Grant is the command which will use to give the to grant the access or to give the access, either to read or write, or to read, both read and write, all those stuff which will be read and write will be. Read is like select, and if it is read and write, then it will be insert, update and delete as well, which you are writing the or updating the data which is in the thing, and revoke whatever you given. Even for read also you can revoke the access, or to you can't give that access to the for that particular table and the stuff. And the transaction, as I said, whatever the transactions you done, we will do that commit whenever whenever we are confirming the changes to be done, and the rollback which will use commonly, both commit and rollback which we'll use very very often. So that's how rollback is like. I don't want to do those changes, either delete or update or insert, whatever it is. I don't want to do those changes. I don't want to do those commits, all those ones. We will use this commit and rollback. Any questions from anyone till so far in this?
Sir, rollback and commitment is fine.
Sorry.
Rollback and commitment once open the page, sir. Can you please open the
Sorry,
page?
I'm not understand. Your voice is bit low.
Is it
What
fine,
is
sir,
the
now?
thing? Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah.
Can you please open previous page, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, commitment means save changes what we done in the last transaction,
Yes.
and the transactions which we don't want to save, that is rollback.
Rollback. Yeah.
But what is meant by save point, sir? Here again rollback operation is calling here, but we have rollback operation here to cancel the transaction in the last transaction. So why? What is the main use of save point, sir?
So save point is like, for example, if you done the rollback, and if you want to do a particular rollback, okay, and particular identifier if you want to do, okay, that will what it will do, it will delete the one which you did in the recent, and it will give you the new, it will assign to the new one. But generally we will use commit and rollback only. Save points is not that you will use in the fundamentals, okay, but those two are the basic ones which we'll use, okay. The stuff, it is like, you will, once we see the when we go into the practical or the sessions, we will once our Sairam will go in the practical sessions, you will understand where we will use all those stuff, how it will differentiate the stuff, okay.
Okay, sir.
But generally
Okay,
we
sir.
will use commit and rollback very often.
Okay, sir. Save point means particularly.
Yeah, particularly, and it will keep the latest one, but not the previous one. It will won't keep the previous one.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So yeah, now we are moving to data types. It's the name is the data types which will use the attributes that specifies the type of data of any object or a column or a value, each column, each variable, each expression, we will have a particular type of thing. For example, as I said in the previous example, when I'm creating the table people, if I'm giving serial number, which is always a number, which is a numeric one, and the name which will be always alphabets, which is called varchar, and then the next one is address, which will be also a varchar, but the length will change, so we will mention those lengths in the bracket. So that's why each column or each variable or each expression whatever you are giving, we will have some, we will use these data types. And these are the different types of data types, which is numeric, which I said serial number, I want to give a numeric value, date and time. For example, if in that same table I'm giving first column is serial number, name, address, and when that person born, or when that person uh, have updated something, when we created his name, or when he was joined our organization, something like that, which we can give the date and time. And then character strings, which we can also, and unicode character strings and binary, which all these are the general concepts of mathematics, and the concepts which we use on a daily basis as well. So these are the data types which we'll be using, and for each data type we will go through. Okay, and how those looks like, we will show all those ones you can see here. So we will go through all these 5 data types in the same sequence. Okay, is any question on data types? What are the data types? How many, why we use data types to mention the columns or whatever the things which we are using. Whenever you are creating a table, we will use the data types to mention that what type of column we want to trying to create that in a particular table or a database. Any questions still on these data types? We will go through each data type. So yeah, see, now you can see the next one. The out of the data types, the first one is numeric data type. Yeah, select command we can't manipulate. Yes, you are right. SDP 80. Yeah, we will go through that executing the query soon. Yeah, so this is how in the numeric data types, you know how in numeric we will have the data type which is bit, and then it starts from 0 and ends with 1, and then tiny int, which is like 0 to 225, small int is like from minus 3768 till plus 3000, that the positive side of uh, positive number 32,767. It's all we will use. These are the numbers which you can give. Generally we will use all these decimals and int or numeric values which will use on a daily basis. So numeric which will be ends with from 0 till whatever the 32,000 or whatever, it's like the number, but generally we will give that number saying that okay, this is the data type which we will use in a daily basis, 0 to 1, all these ones. When we are creating the table in the practical, you will understand what type of stuff we are giving. And these are the next up. So hope this is just like what type of values we will use, what type of things we use. Generally we will give int integer, so that it can go till some crores or millions, where we can use that as a number. For example, I will give serial number as int or integer, which will give you those type, or I will give it as a number, numeric, which will be a number, so that it will give till my whatever the values we want to give over there. Any questions on numbers? Next is like also float, which is the approximate. If you don't, that is how we use float and real. These are the ones when we are creating the tables, you'll or uh, things, we will see all those ones. Okay, so that's how float and real. And the next, date and time, as you see, date, which will defaultly will store as YYMMDD, and time, which will be defaultly stored in hour, minutes, and seconds, will be in with the with the colon. If you want to write date, time, then it will come as a default, the combination of both uh, uh, year in writing full year with the month, and 0 1 0 from 01 to 12, and date from 1 to 31. And for February it will be 29, so defaultly it will take 29 days in general. Okay, so that is it's a combination of both the date and time. You can see date, as date defaultly will take in uh, by year and month and date, and same way for time, which will be hours, minutes, and seconds. And
Excuse me, sir. Screen is not visible, sir.
yeah,
Sorry to disturb.
sorry, no worries. uh Hope now it is visible. Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so yeah, so as date and time, as I explained, date will be having this year, month, and date, and time will be your hours, minutes, and seconds. If I write date, time, then it will the combination of both. When you are inserting or something, you have to give in the same format whatever been done. And the timestamp, it's a, you have to give, for example, if you want to add the timestamp as well, which is like a GST or IST or whatever it is, you can give all those in the such thing. And if you write year, which is stores here in a 2 digit or 4 digit format, ranges from 1901 to in a 4 digit, ranges 70 to 69, representing 1970 to 2069. So this is how, if you want year as a just as a 2 digit or a 4 digit format, you can mention a separate, uh, however you want, just year itself. You don't want a date or a month, you just can mention just year itself.
Screen is not visible.
Sorry, yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, hope now it's visible.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so that's how you can use all these date and time data types. Any questions on this one, or how you want to use date time or date time, both the timestamp and year?
No, sir.
Okay, so next we will move to another string data types. You can see, as we said, characters, whatever the characters you are giving. If you give char, automatically it will take the length of 8000. For example, if I am giving my name as char, I can give till 8000 characters. But if you don't know whether that is more, it will go more than 8000 characters of name. Hopefully we don't have any name as 8000 letters. But if we don't know, for example, address, we don't know if it goes more than 8000 or thing, then we generally use varchar saying that it will the variable, the value whichever you are giving in the address or in the name. So character is having a limit. The maximum length you can give of 8,000 characters, and varchar you don't, it can be more than 8,000. And if you write varchar max, which uh, this will be whatever the maximum limit you are giving. If I'm giving 10,000, if I'm giving, whenever you are creating a table, I will give that number, it will be that max. Okay, so yeah. And then a text which will is like store the maximum size of 2 GB data. The text will give you automatically. You can write a single line saying that okay, this person has given the notes, or he given agreed the terms and conditions, something like that. If you want to write that there, you will use the text. Okay, so I will go one sample where which we used in the past. For example, as I saying, creating the table people, as I said, create people, column one is serial number, I will use the number, and the name is character. I know it won't go more than 8,000 characters. And then I'm using address, which is varchar
No, sorry
varchar
for interrupting.
yeah.
No, are you sharing some other screen?
No, I'm just uh, using the same screen.
Okay, okay. Okay,
So if
fine.
you want, I will go
Got
back.
that.
Yeah, you can see. So here you can see create table. Hope you are able to see the code. Create table people. Serial number is my data type. I'm using number, and column 2 is name, and I will use the data type char, which will have the limitations of 8,000. And then column 3, which I'm using as address, then which is London, or if I want to write just London, it will be used for char. But if you we are writing so much saying that okay, I'm giving my door number, my street, my postcode, all those stuff, then I will use varchar, which will give my 8 more than 8,000. And if you know, when I'm creating, you can put varchar max, which is for example, okay, you want to put a limitations of name with 30, so you can put varchar 30, so that whatever values you are giving in name, it will stick to 30 only. It won't allow you to write more than
Sir,
30.
screen is not visible, sir.
Okay, yeah, it's the same one I'm using. So the same, the previous one which I'm explaining. So it's the same. How that is how you will use the data types uh, there over there whenever you are creating a table and mentioning those columns, whatever you are trying to create. Is it clear on the data types of these character strings?
Yes, sir.
Good. And some Unicode characters you can see here. Nchar, you can use the pixel length with maximum length of 4,000 characters. If you want, you don't want 8,000, you want only 4,000, then it will be like Nchar. And same way nvarchar, which is the maximum of 4,000 characters, the variable whatever you are giving. So that will be Nchar. And same Nchar max, you can give whatever you length. You don't want either max of 4,000 or more than 4,000, but you can give your particular of choice, where if it is 30 or 40, you know, these names will, you don't want names more than 40 characters or 50 characters, you can give all those ones. And same way n text, which will be used where you will get text with a 2 GB of data, where n text will give you 1 GB of text. You can enter in that whenever you are entering the n text as a data type for a particular column in a table. Any questions on these numeric and data time, and then the character strings and Unicode character strings, which are straightforward ones to use whenever you are creating a table? What type of limitations you have to create a table for each column, and the stuff. and uh, the last data type which will have is the binary data types. So you can see binary, if I'm using binary, it will give the maximum length of 8,000. Okay. And where binary is like you will see uh, divisions or the decimals, all those stuff which will covers under this binary. And where binary also, you can go till 8,000 bytes. And the same way, whatever we use char, varchar, and varchar max, it's the same as binary and var binary. And var binary, you can give the maximum what more than, if you want to give a particular length uh, of variables, you can use var binary. And image, if you want to insert an image or if you want to update an image, it will give you need to use the image, which will give of 2 GB of binary stuff, whatever data you want to use over there in creating or updating the table. So yeah, these are the data types which we have. And we will go through the next. I think we have already gone through some table constraints whenever we are talking on creating those tables. So these ones we will go tomorrow, constraints, and then how we will use database, and how we will manage all those stuff, which I think already we gone through in the first Friday call, a couple of points over there. And then we will see how we want to use, which are already I have shown you couple of all these queries in the previous slide, how you are working with the table, so that we will go in the practical session tomorrow, so that you guys will understand whatever we are using all these constraints, and how to create, and how to insert, how to update all those ones. We will use the workbench, and we will see that. Any questions on any data types or SQL classifications which we discussed today? Any questions from anyone, as we have a couple of more minutes for today's session? Any questions?
Can you provide an example for a binary?
Okay, binary example, yeah, we will discuss that tomorrow when we are going through the creating the tables. Okay, we will go through. See, you can see here, for example, I created a primary key, and I am giving, see, for example, if you see this table, they are creating a create table as a customers, where id I am giving that as integer, which is your number, and the name as varchar I am giving varchar max, and then age integer, which is your number, and address I'm giving the limitations of char, which is of 25 as well. And then salary will be the decimal, which is your binary, which I use 18 comma 2 is like, for example, I am giving 18 is like 50,000, and two decimals, 0.00 or something, two decimals you can see here, till I can give the max of 18. And the default, it should be more than 5,000, like that. And primary key I'm giving as id, which they can use the decimal, and that stuff which you can see how we will use all those ones. Yeah, those are the ones which will come as a binary stuff, where you use the decimals and the points or something like that. Yeah, any questions, any other questions?
Then float
Sir,
also the same meaning.
Sorry.
Float also the same meaning.
Okay, 1 second. Suppose we are working on a project, unfortunately we deleted the one row, is it possible to retrieve the data? Yeah, as how you are deleting, it will matter whether you are as we see, whenever we are, when we said here, if you are deleting, it's a delete, you can't make it back until unless you not committed it. If you committed it, saying that I did committed it, if you roll back, then it won't make the changes. But if you don't make the commit or rollback, it won't change, or it won't delete all those stuff. So whatever command you are using, it all matters.
Sir, are we discuss this all commands in hands-on?
Yes, we will.
Okay, sir.
We will go in a same sequence when we are going in the practical sessions.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Any more questions? Yeah, I think if nothing, we will end the session today. Thanks for everyone for joining. Yeah, float and binary is it's float and binary. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Float it it's a from the positive, and you can go till whatever you want, and binary is as we can give the limits 18 comma something. You can give that limitations in the binary, in the binary stuff, but in float it will automatically will take the default, and it will give that big line post the number. And binary is you can give that limits, all those limitations will be there for the binary. Yeah, I think. Yeah, platform, we in the WhatsApp messages already, one of our Sairam, Srikant Sairam, has already shared, Srikant brother has shared already the workbench, so you can go through that video and you can install that in your laptops.
Is it necessary to have MySQL Workbench or still Oracle Express Edition is also do the same?
Yeah, whatever is feasible for you, which is capable or compatible in your laptops, you can do that, and we will show the sessions here so that you can go and do the practice.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So any other? Yep. If no, if nothing, then Sairam all. Have a nice day, and we will connect tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Sairam.
Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam.
Srikant or anything? Srikant.
Saram, sir.
Sairam or we can drop off.
So can we drop off the call? End of the call now.